Will you please stand for the presentation of our nation's colors and remain standing for the national anthem by Rachel Simon.
Arms. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, arms. Forward, march.
Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you to the Copperas Cove Police Color Guard and to Rachel Simon. Today's event is possible because of the phenomenal men and women of the State of the City Committee. They have collaborated over the last few months preparing for this event. Committee members, if y'all will please rise quickly. We'd like to recognize you. Thank you. There are a number of business sponsors for our event. Today's venue engagement sponsor is Synergy Cinemas. Wonderful facility. Our top financial engagement sponsor is Jimmy Clark Homes. Advocate sponsor is MRB Group. And our community builder sponsors are Land Exchange Abstract and Title Company, Brothers and Crothers Exchangers, Executive Property Management, Because We Care, and WBW Development. Our refreshment sponsors are Chick-fil-A, H-E-B Plus, and Starbucks. And our plant sponsors are A&L Florist and The Daisy. Please give our sponsors a huge round of applause. I'd like to say thank you to our current and our past city council members. With us this morning, our current council members, Fred Chavez. There he is, he's up there. Monty Montanez. There. I thought I saw Vanya Hart. Did I miss any other council members? Because I didn't see any yet. All right. On stage with me is Mayor Dan Yancey. He was elected mayor in 2021 after serving 6 years on the city council in place 3. He has been in Copperas Cove for over 4 decades, which I think makes this his home. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce the speaker for the state of the city, Mayor Dan Yancey. Please give him a round.
Thank you, Ryan. Well, good morning and welcome to the state of the city of the city of Copperas Cove. I'm Mayor Dan Yancey, and proud resident of Copperas Cove, a place to work, play, and call home. Again, I would like to thank Synergy Cinemas, Jimmy Clark Homes, MRB Engineers as our top sponsors for the State of the City address. The group that coordinated and made this great event is the State of the City Committee. Please give our sponsors and committee members another round of applause. Today's State of the City will review the last several years of activity and benefits and look forward to the projects and planned engagements in our future. We survived and overcame a tornado in 2019, Winter Storm Uri in 2021, a pandemic from 2020 through 2022, nationally rooted racial unrest, distrust of law enforcement, and a drought. The last 3 years have been unique, traumatic, and yet innovation-inducing. Through all of those events, Copperas Cove has taken substantial steps to improve public infrastructure, public safety, community service, and resident engagement, making us better together. Historically, the city has increased its population over the last 2 decades at an average rate of less than 1% annually. But the last 3 years, the pace of growth increased substantially to over 2.7% annually. With current and planned development by private investment, our city's present population of 38,211 will grow to over 60,000 in the next 10 to 15 years. In addition to residential growth, the Copperas Cove Economic Development Corporation is working diligently through its board of directors and executive director Fred Welch, regularly communicating and pitching the city's location, resources, workforce, and relationships to companies to locate here. The EDC is collaborating with Fort Hood, Heart of Texas Defense Alliance, and the Department of Defense and several other organizations to bring a public-private rail truck facility into existence, which will spur economic benefit to Copperas Cove through logistics and warehousing industries, relocation, and indirect benefit through service industry patronage. The City Council adopted new subdivision and sign regulations to streamline and simplify development and business signage. These actions have contributed to an increased sales tax growth of 13% annually over the last 3 years. When you shop at Copperas Cove, your purchases support local businesses. And when local businesses thrive, other businesses we desire in Copperas Cove will take note and locate here. When we support local businesses, retail businesses grow and expand. In preparation for population and business growth, the city continues to plan long range to ensure our city grows responsibly. The 2020 Comprehensive Plan, which is located on the City Planning webpage, is a roadmap for responsible development within the city. While the city cannot dictate what businesses and residential neighborhoods located in Copperas Cove, the comprehensive plan is a guide for those developers and entrepreneurs. Infrastructure, a necessary component of growth. The city maintains an updated water model to ensure water quality water, and is available to current and future customers. The wastewater collection plan identifies the orderly replacement of manholes, lift stations, and sewer lines for proper sanitary collection. The drainage master plan, currently being updated, assesses the impact of current and future development to assist with preventing structure flooding issues. The city's first pavement condition assessment is helping to determine cost-efficient methods of improving our streets. The Parks and Cemetery Master Plan helped guide citizen volunteers on the Quality of Life Advisory Board on their park improvement recommendations. Following the recommendations and guidance of these long-range plans, many with direct opinions of our residents, numerous capital projects have been completed in the process of completion. 3 existing water storage tanks have been rehabilitated, totaling 1,690,000 gallons of water storage. The Rattlesnake 750,000 gallon elevated storage tank, the Southwest 300-gallon ground storage tank, and 150,000 elevated storage tank, and additional pumping equipment, improve water pressure, and expand service to additional customers. We have seen the state's population rapidly growing, so City Council took action in 2022 to purchase additional water supply to secure and protect our residents' future water needs. City Council had the foresight and in compliance with state law to fund emergency backup generators for water and wastewater facilities. If future electrical supply is interrupted, water service to our city's residents will continue. City Council authorized the use of the street maintenance fund to begin resurfacing roadways, repairing potholes, and maintaining vegetation along city roads. Several drainage projects have been completed or in progress, such as Suja Lane, Deer Flats, and Martin Luther King Boulevard. We are working with TxDOT on 2 major highway projects. US Highway 190 east of Copperas Cove to the west side will be expanded with 2 additional lanes separate from the existing 2 lanes and will be designated as the first expansion of Interstate 14. While the current plan is to begin this construction in 2026, the city and TxDOT are working toward beginning construction as early as 2024. The second major highway project is the construction of an interchange from State Highway 9 south to US Business Highway 190. This interchange
Sorry, Ben, I like
you gotta look at Fred's letter. This interchange will provide quick connection for residents on the north side of town to major retail centers on the east side of our city. The city's partnership with TxDOT is just one of several, including Fort Hood, CCISD, Copperas Cove EDC, and Chamber of Commerce, civic, nonprofit, religious organizations, and other government agencies and officials. The city provides services to support our partners, and the city relies on these organizations to provide the best service to our residents. This interaction is known as mutual engagement. Our community is experiencing the next level of engagement through population growth and leadership changes. City Council will consider in the next year a redefined city identity and logo as part of this growth. However, Copperas Cove will continue to remain a place to work, play, and call home. We live here and we engage here. The city and residents engage in service activities and projects regularly. From volunteers on boards and committees, to coaching youth sports and weekend cleanup events, many residents serve others selflessly through city-sponsored activities. Another way for you to engage in city priorities is to participate in project surveys, public hearings, and town halls. Your voice matters to help craft policy decisions, service delivery, and project selection, to name a few. The city exists to serve you, and customer service is our focus. When we engage together, Copperas Cove is better together. Thank you. I would now like to invite City Manager Ryan Haverlaw to introduce us to a few city team members and share more details of accomplishments and future plans. Please welcome Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor Yancey, and thank you again for attending the State of the City. As residents, customers, and even visitors of a community, we all use the same basic services. We drive on streets, walk on sidewalks, we use water, and we all have trash to throw away. Services in Copperas Cove, such as those, fall under one departmental unified leadership. That's called Public Works. And over the last several years, Public Works has been a shining star in our community. These departments work very closely, and they work better together. Underneath our roads we drive on, there are water and wastewater pipes. The wastewater treatment plants receive the collected wastewater to be treated, filtered, and disinfected. Solid waste picks up our garbage, recyclables, bulk, and even brush. And utility administration, everyone's favorite department, establishes new customer accounts, details charges, invoices, and collects payment. I would like to introduce you to a few of the amazing and dedicated Public Works team members serving you.
Kevin Foster has worked with the city for nearly 5 years, and his experience in the street department has proven him to be an effective and dedicated leader in advancing various project successes and ensuring citizen safety traveling our roadways. Kevin shows a tough demeanor, but the right joke will have a smile breaking through that exterior. While many of us do not venture into bad weather, Kevin and his crews are out working during adverse conditions. Most recently, we experienced Winter Storm Uri, where the street and drainage crews cleared roadways and applied aggregate to help first responders and other travelers navigate roads during the week-long freezing storm. The streets team tirelessly helped numerous first responders and residents in stranded or immovable vehicles.
Mike Unteed oversees all water system repair operations. He has worked with the city for just over 5 years. He does a fantastic job training new employees on daily operations. Mike also helps existing employees conduct repairs and manage daily functions effectively. He is an expert with job safety and helps increase his crew's knowledge of our water system. Jose Bailon is a supervisor with wastewater collections, and he has worked for the city for just over 3 years. He has proven to be reliable and eager to learn. Jose demonstrates initiative every day and is working to obtain his wastewater collection Class 3 licenses from TCEQ and also holds a Class A CDL license.
I have no issues coming to work. If someone needs help and they contact me, it could be at nighttime, it doesn't matter what time it is in the day, I will come help them.
We're just cleaning the water. We do what Mother Nature does, just quicker and more efficient.
Thomas Brooks is the superintendent for wastewater treatment and oversees all 3 wastewater treatment plants. He has been with the city for just over 17 years. Thomas promoted from the chief plant operator at the Northwest plant after demonstrating exceptional dedication and operational expertise. Thomas has been a selfless leader, as demonstrated by his resolve to keep treatment operations going, despite only having half the necessary positions being filled during lengthy periods of time, while facing several inclement weather events and emergencies. Victor Williams has been with the city for just under 9 years. He is a residential, brush, bulk, and recycling supervisor. He oversees the collection of garbage, recycling, brush, and bulk for over 14,000 customers every week. Victor ensures his team of 13 employees run collection routes in a timely and safe manner. This work requires 15 different vehicles due to the varying collection services, and to optimize services, residential routes are evaluated and adjusted for efficiency.
So what do you need to solve problems?
Also, a recent graduate of the city's own Development and Leadership Academy, improving his leadership and communication skills, Victor goes above and beyond his normal job scope to ensure that all customers receive quality service.
Our goal here is customer service, to make sure that every customer that calls us or walks into the building gets what they need.
Millie McBride has been with the city for less than 1 year. In this relatively short time, she has hit the ground running, rounding out excellent customer service, consistency, and reliability. Millie has completed the work to fully transition away from Fathom and into a high-functioning utility administration operation. Millie's positive attitude and strong leadership style has taken the department to the next level, benefiting citizens and customers. Ronnie Gass has provided dedicated service to the city for just over 7 years. He was recently promoted to lead mechanic, where his mechanical expertise and leadership skills have made him a significant asset to the department and the city as a whole. Ronnie's sense of humor lightens the sometimes tense work schedule of servicing hundreds of vehicles and pieces of equipment.
In the aftermath of Winter Storm Uri, the street department completed numerous repairs associated with the devastation to our roadways. Though not a result of the winter storm, the entire 6,400 linear feet of Pecan Cove Drive was reconstructed. This road was aged and failing and was annexed into the city decades ago. Associated drainage improvements will also help preserve that roadway. Current and future roadway projects include a second round of repairs resulting from the damage caused by Winter Storm Uri, and the Veterans Sidewalk Improvement Project, both of which are nearing completion. The Veterans Sidewalk Project will reconstruct the sidewalk, expand the width, and add ADA accessible ramps along the north side of the road from South 5th to South 31st Streets. This sidewalk is used by thousands of children, parents, and residents every year, and will provide greater protection for those pedestrians. Constitution Drive, Suja Lane, and Oak Hill and Deer Flat Drives are the next roadways being designed and bid for reconstruction. The portion of Constitution Drive will be reconstructed between US Business 190 and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. These projects will also include drainage improvements to preserve the roadways. These projects, along with the many that we'll discuss today, are available for review in the city's capital improvement plan on the city's website. The water tank rehabilitation projects that Mayor Yancey mentioned earlier are essential for water quality and to preserve our critical assets. The Southwest Water Project is a $5 million project invested to extend the 16-inch water main, construct ground and elevated storage tanks and a pump station, which will provide service to approximately 1,500 new water connections. Some additional current and upcoming water projects include the relocation and replacement of approximately 29,000 feet of a 20-inch water main with a 24-inch water main from Clear Creek Road in Killeen to Copperas Cove. This existing main is primarily located within the Fort Hood military installation and railroad right-of-way. It is also over 50 years old. It's not easy to access the existing line for maintenance and repairs, and it has been a source of significant water loss from our community. The 24-inch replacement main will ensure transmission of quality water to Copperas Cove for customers' safe use, improved access for future maintenance, and increased capacity to accommodate the existing and future growth. The Rattlesnake Elevated Storage Tank, which is our newest water tank and is clearly visible from US 190. And I'm sure you've probably noticed the east and west sides of those tanks are blank. And I have been asked many times, why are those spots blank? When City Council adopts a new logo, that new logo will go in those spots. Now you can tell all your neighbors why those areas are blank. You already heard me say that the 20-inch transmission main is more than 50 years old. And there are numerous thousands of feet of older and undersized water lines throughout the city. Many are galvanized water lines. Replacing these water lines within older sections of the city is necessary to ensure continuous water service and enhance fire flow capabilities. Mayor Yancey also mentioned that we are currently designing the installation of electric backup generators at critical water and wastewater facilities. This long-needed project was highlighted during Winter Storm Uri, and shortly thereafter mandated by the state of Texas. Barring significant supply delays for generator equipment, this project should be completed in 2024. So now let's talk about wastewater collection. And there is logic here. We use the water goes into the drains, and something has to happen with that wastewater. Most notable recent project completed in the wastewater collection system was replacement of a 15-inch vitrified clay pipe that ran from City Park to the Northwest Wastewater Treatment Plant. That pipe was replaced with a 24-inch PVC pipe, which increases capacity and eliminates substantial inflow and infiltration of surface and groundwater from intruding into the collection system. The ongoing sanitary sewer evaluation survey helps evaluate the system's capacity and condition, and also allows us to prepare a master plan of improvements to address existing and future deficiencies in our system. The South Main vitrified clay pipe replacement project, similar to that City Park project I mentioned, is currently being designed and will replace 3,000 feet with an upsized PVC pipe, again expanding capacity and eliminating inflow and infiltration. After wastewater is collected, it ends up at one of our 3 wastewater plants, treatment plants. We recently completed a project at the Northeast Wastewater Treatment Plant of replacing the UV or ultraviolet disinfection system. It is known as effluent, the part that is treated prior to being released from the plant back into the environment. And this is the final step of the treatment process and is necessary to comply with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality Regulations. We even received an informal statement from TCEQ that the water we release from our wastewater treatment plants has a better quality than the naturally flowing water in the streams. That's impressive. 5 current and future projects include the Northwest Plant and South Plant UV replacement systems, very similar to the Northeast plant. The Northeast plant also requires an influent screen replacement and a sequential batch reactor valve replacement. Now, when I think of those words, sequential batch reactor, I think back to the flux capacitor and Back to the Future. You put waste in and then you get to go time traveling. So that's not what it is. If you have questions about that, we have some amazing Public Works team members. Director Scott Osborne is here. Ask him what that is. He'll tell you all about it. Right, Scott?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The Northwest Clarifier Project will also rehabilitate significantly aged components. And if you're wondering what the clarifier is, it's very similar to taking dirty water in a glass, letting it sit, and then you see all the particles fall to the bottom of that glass. The clarifier just does that much more efficiently and much more quickly. Now let's take note and talk about a theme that we've been looking at with all the projects. A lot of the projects are about efficiency, improving efficiency in how we operate. With solid waste, the route-aware system was implemented in 2022, and again, led to significantly streamlined operations, route optimization, and employee accountability, and has improved revenue collection. Routeware has led to enhanced customer service and mutual accountability for services provided to customers. The system records pictures and GPS locations at every service stop, documenting whether the collection of material occurred. It has helped build confidence in solid waste service and trust in the people. So if you call and say your trash wasn't collected, we'll send you a picture confirming whether we collected it or it wasn't out there. A master plan with the solid waste transfer station is the next project that we are working on. The current transfer station needs to operate more efficiently and maximize land use based on projected population and service growth. Parallel with the master plan, a new state permit must be submitted to increase the authorized quantity of material received and processed on a daily basis. After the permit is approved by TCEQ, designing the first of 2 transfer station expansions will begin. And the master plan will also include construction of a separate recycle facility and installation of a second scale and construction of a wash rack. Following Fathom's disastrous and much needed demise in late 2019, and over the course of the last 3 years, countless issues and challenges were identified and eventually resolved. Y'all be safe. Thank you. As of today, account services include responsive customer service, timely accuracy, and expanded communication. And it's never been better in that department. Utility administration is located in its own newly renovated facility at 305 South Main Street, where focused and enthusiastic customer service is provided and includes a drive-through for payments and improved payment online services. Lastly, fleet services in the Public Works Department performs work on over 300 vehicles and equipment in all of our departments. That equipment includes patrol cars, fire engines, ambulances, staff trucks, backhoes, garbage trucks, lawnmowers, and generators. And in the past 3 years, over 1,800 work orders have been completed, and every year, Fleet completes 200 state inspections and 450 preventative maintenance services on our city's fleet. All city activities are backed by a team of administrative departments. That includes finance, budget, public relations, information technology, city secretary, human resources, and the city attorney. The city continues to receive the designated budget presentation award and certificate of certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting. And this is testament to the quality of financial transparency and communication by our organization. Copperas Cove continues to maintain a AA bond rating with a stable outlook and ensures a sufficient fund balance in all major operating funds. There are two groups of departments that are customer service focused. Development Services, which serves our businesses, builders, developers, and the DIY warrior residents. Y'all know who you are. And I'll say I am one because I attempt to be a DIY warrior, which usually ends with me saying, yes, dear, I'll call the repair company. That happens. For the Parks and Recreation Department and Public Library, they are considered the fun departments. Recreational and aquatics activities, golf course, reading programs, public computers, and special events. With all these departments mentioned, let's meet some of the administrative and customer service focused team members.
Gerald Cawley has worked for the city for a year. He has worked in the information systems profession for 10 years and came to the city with a wealth of knowledge and experience. He is currently assigned to an information systems 2 position where his duties include checking and rebooting servers, updating camera systems, providing support for city council meetings, and much more. Gerald is currently working to obtain his Security Plus certification, which will provide him with a better understanding of cybersecurity, which in turn will be a great benefit to the city. Gerald finds great pleasure in serving the community he calls home.
So when I do these inspections, I do them as if it's gonna be my home.
Chris Franz has worked for the city for 2 years. He is a certified building inspector and obtained his plumbing inspection license as one of the final steps to inspect all activities. He reviews building plans and provides inspection services for builders and home improvement DIYers on a daily basis. Chris strives to find solutions with builders and homeowners for non-compliant construction methods. He has also been instrumental in improving the online permitting system, which benefits permit submissions and accountability for development services.
So this is a library that my kids grew up in. And summer reading was a big part of it. So to continue that means a lot to me.
Karen Ekrit has worked with the city for 3.5 years. She serves as the children's librarian, and her duties include ordering materials, coordination and implementation of storytime events, and management of the annual summer reading program. The summer reading program runs for 6 weeks each summer and attracts approximately 300 children who participate from the community. The program serves ages 0 to 15 years and is hosted at no cost to the public. Karen is also tasked with completing and submitting various grants which help fund the summer reading program. She has resided in the community for over 25 years and now feels honored to serve in the same public library which her children attended when they were younger. Ashley Wilson has worked for the city for almost 5 years. She manages all financial transactions for 10 separate sections within Parks and Recreation, oversees all cemetery plot sales and inventory reconciliation, and plans 8 separate special events for Copperas Cove annually. These special events provide entertainment and service to nearly 14,000 individuals. Ashley begins planning numerous months in advance and manages the day of operations. The events require partnerships with volunteers and service groups to ensure the events are successful. Some of those groups include the Copperas Cove Chamber of Commerce, Copperas Cove Historical Society, Cove Life Church, and many more.
I don't know how he did it, but I think Dr. Burns convinced that little girl to hold up that sign. If you or someone you know is looking for meaningful work in a team that cares about you, supports you, and wants to provide public service better than before, submit an application with the city. We have a lot of openings. Spread that word. The Information Technology Department is working on bringing improved internet bandwidth to Copperas Cove through fiber technologies. This technology will also potentially allow businesses to reduce their overhead and secure reliable internet connections. We are a growing community. Many of you have seen the new housing construction all across the city. Development services assist in overseeing the development process from start to finish. For the past 5 years, more than 10,000 homes have been built or are in the planning process to be built in the future. While the city's population is approximately 38,211, as Mayor Yancey mentioned earlier, the planned homes will bring the city's population to over 60,000. After Copperas Cove adopted the 2020 Comprehensive Plan, Development Services assisted City Council by streamlining and clarifying regulations with the state basic sign ordinance and rewrote the subdivision regulations. The current effort is to update the zoning ordinance. City Council has established citizen and business appointed committees to recommend updates to these regulations. And if you are interested in seeing responsible business and residential growth in our community, help us be better together. And let us know that you want to participate on committees that determine how the city grows. Outdoor and recreation activities are vital for our community's quality of life. Parks and Recreation installed shade canopies over 4 playgrounds and the golf course driving range. These canopies protect playground visitors, our children, from direct UV rays and intense Texas heat. New LED sport lights on fields 4 and 9 allow safe night sports. And if you haven't seen those lights, they are phenomenal. The city and Raising Cane's Chicken Restaurant held the grand opening on January 18th for the Raising Cane's Dog Park, the first dog park in Texas sponsored by Raising Cane's. And, wait for it, after 40 years, we are so close to having 3 new restrooms and 2 new renovated restrooms at City Park. Watch for the first flush ribbon cutting announcement. It's coming soon. And I encourage all park users and our community to care for our new restrooms and our new dog park. Please, take care of it. Parks and Recreation, the Quality of Life Advisory Board, and City Council will partner in the upcoming year to replace lighting at 2 additional sports fields and renovate the duck pond at City Park. The duck pond project will remove the rock wall, construct a walking trail around the pond, and replace the aging existing pedestrian bridge. There is the potential to add an additional pedestrian bridge also. Parks and Recreation has many partnerships and community services. A huge thank you to the Quality of Life board members and the numerous volunteer coaches who make youth athletic leagues exciting and create lifelong experiences for our children. The athletic leagues continue to thrive as a direct result of this partnership. It is confirmation that we are better together. Some of the event partnerships with Parks and Recreation include the 4th of July celebration hosted by Cove Life Church, the the Ogletree Gap Heritage Festival organized by the Copperas Cove Historical Society, and the Military Appreciation Golf Tournament and Battle of the Battalions Golf Tournament. Community events include the recent Polar Bear Plunge and 5K, Fishing in the Park, which is coming up in a few weeks, and the Easter Egg Roundup Spring Festival, which is formerly known as the Food Truck Festival, and Halloween. As we move into the next group of our departments, when we think about local government, most of the time our first thoughts are police, and fire. Safety, welfare, health, and protection are the missions of public safety and are accomplished through service, education, encouragement, response, and enforcement. Code compliance, animal control, police department, and fire department are those departments most visible in our community. There are many great stories of these departments. So let's meet some of the team members that make them great.
This was another complaint for 606 North Main Street. It had a whole bunch of trash out in the yard, trash bags that had already fallen apart that had trash in them, a whole lot of debris in the yard. This was the day that we cleaned it up. So this was a joint effort between not only the code compliance office, but it was also solid waste was a huge help.
Missy Albert has worked with the city for 10 years. Serving as the administrative support of code compliance, she soon became a code compliance officer. Missy obtained her Code Officer 2 license and maintains an above satisfactory monthly average of inspections and compliance activities. She also schedules and presents monthly food handler classes for the benefit of those in the community needing certification.
The health, safety, and welfare of the people that you're serving. So I take that's my job. I need to make sure that those three things are being met on each property that I go to.
Catalina Richardson is the consummate team player. As the kennel technician, Catalina takes care of the daily kennel maintenance and ensures the animals receive proper care. Regularly, she adjusts her schedule to be able to assist with special events such as low-cost shop clinics while still completing her daily duties. Catalina was instrumental in repairing the food storage location at the shelter to prevent rodents from foraging the food supplies. Her positive attitude and strong work ethic allow the animal control officers to serve our community to the best of their abilities.
When I grew up, it was just me and my grandma in a lower poverty setting. She taught me to always push through, don't be biased to anybody, always treat people fairly, always treat people with an initial level of respect.
Officer Cortez and Officer Nixon are prime reflections of daily interactions with the police department. Both have positive attitudes and energy and serve as a constant reminder of why officers chose this profession. When in their presence, it is hard to remember the reasons for a bad day. You cannot measure it or put a price on it, but this has more value than anything else that you can carry to your profession. Their commitment to service extends to the community and is motivated to their peers as well. Derek Gray began employment with the City of Copperas Cove during the height of COVID in December of 2020 and brought with him 9 years of firefighter experience. He recently completed paramedic school in September of 2022 and is assigned to the B shift. Derek is an intermediate structure firefighter, fire instructor 1, and a driver operator pumper.
In 2022, code compliance was instrumental in the demolition of that structure that you saw and abatement of junk property on North Main. These activities removed blighted, substandard conditions and improved the health and safety of the neighborhoods. Oftentimes, our citizens are unaware of the due process with which we grant and are required to grant violators. But our amazing team is focused on customer service and keeps detailed and precise logs of complaints, contacts, warnings, and citations to help the process along and achieve compliance. The current animal shelter facility is small and at best inadequate for the services provided to residents and their animals. In November 2021, Copperas Cove voters approved a $4 million bond to construct a new animal control facility. The project is designed and currently being bid out for estimates. The new facility will be located west of Fire Station number 2, located at 2401 FM 1113. The facility is expected to open in the summer of 2024. There are many opportunities for you to engage with animal control and partner with individual volunteers and organizations to support animals at the facility. Community activities throughout the year, such as adoption events, low-cost shot clinics, and caring for animals at the facility are ways to serve better together. Animals at the facility need to be fed, and many times just need a friendly companion to give them attention. If you love animals and want to care for their welfare, be better together and volunteer with animal control. To enhance police presence and response, again, customer service, the PD has focused and successfully transitioned the patrol section to 12-hour shifts for more efficient and effective service delivery. This shift change provides greater coverage of officers throughout the city. The dispatch section of the police department has implemented a new medical emergency dispatch technology called ProQA. Dispatchers can assist 911 callers with determining primary medical issues while response units are en route. Medical information received by the dispatcher is then shared with police and emergency medical services to help prepare responders for the caller's medical needs. And most recently, the Copperas Cove Police Department became the 189th accredited agency through the Texas Police Chiefs Association Best Practices Program. This program identifies police departments in the state that provide not only excellent service in the community, but ensure their internal processes are secure and accountable. In the near future, the police department will transition to a modern and improved records management system known as Niche RMS 365 to meet state and federal mandates for securing documentation of call responses and incidences. This transition is actually part of a consortium of cities from Copperas Cove all the way to Temple and includes most of Bell County. The system will allow for secure sharing of case information to more efficiently conduct investigations of possible perpetrators. As previously mentioned, the police department is one of the highly visible services in the community. Your police department has purposefully developed partnerships and community services over the past 5 years. We understand that we are better together. Events such as coffee, cone, and chicken with a cop, just take note, all of those start with C and cop.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna expand beyond that. Chief, maybe probably. They are well attended and help officers in the community know and trust each other. Other community engagement programs include Are You Okay? Law Enforcement Explorers, Kiddo Cards, Code Watch, Neighborhood Video Surveillance, Special Olympics, National Night Out, Citizens Police Academy, TxDOT Highway Cleanups, and they gave me this list, and they just conveniently forgot about the Punishing Co-Fit workout programs for team members. And as you can tell, they do a lot more than just law enforcement. They are community servants. All these programs are organic partnerships with the community. These programs only exist because you, our residents, engage with the police department. Do you know Officer Nixon's favorite ice cream? Show up at Cone with a Cop. Ask him what it is. Are you ready to learn what your police officers do on a daily basis? Join the next Citizens Police Academy. So let's move on to the loud and big red trucks. Copperas Cove Fire Department. During Winter Storm Uri, and now seemingly annually, we have winter storms. The fire department continues to respond to medical and trauma emergencies despite streets being covered in ice and snow. No call has gone unanswered. As call volumes have increased during weather events, aid from neighboring providers and additional firefighters were called to respond to critical emergencies. Thank you to our neighboring partners. The implementation of EMS wristbands, sponsored by the Central Texas Regional Advisory Council, helps patients receive consistent medical care from the point EMS transports patients until they are discharged from the hospital. The wristband ensures medical records for each patient can be viewed by each medical professional serving that person. This is known as continuum of care. The fire department is also working to replace a 20-year-old radio system that is used by all city departments. The new system will provide broader coverage for our growing community and greater signal strength. The city is extremely grateful for its partnerships with all local organizations and individuals. While there are too many to mention, we'd like to say thank you to the Copperas Cove and Lampasas Independent School Districts, and thank you for attending as well. The Economic Development Corporation, Fort Hood, Central Texas College, and veteran, civic, religious, youth, and adult service organizations. We look forward to serving Copperas Cove alongside with you as volunteers and service organizations. The city is committed to continuing, beginning new, and growing stronger mutual engagements with you. I encourage you to engage with the city. We are better together. In the bag that you all received, there is a State of the City tip, and it has a QR code on the back. Scan that QR code. We also have QR codes as you exit, as well as the opportunity to sign up and express your interest in volunteer activities with the city. Submit your volunteer interest form, and we will contact you with the many opportunities that your community has to serve you and you to serve your community. We are better together. Thank you for attending the State of the City address for the City of Copperas Cove. On behalf of the Mayor and City Council, God bless you in 2023, and be safe as you leave. Thank you.